Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video, and well, finally back with a new vinyl talk video because, well, I had this record standing somewhere over there for quite a while because I thought I should make a video about this, and I'm talking about this one. Well, I guess you won't know what this is, so, and I bought this just as a side note when we still had the Deutschmark and not the euro for 16.95, which is equivalent of, or was equivalent of about €9 or 8.50. Now a 12-inch price is at about the same, so it's about 12 to 15 euros in a shop. But anyway, I'm talking about this record here. A little bit confusing, Techno Animal Unmanned, with like two versions of two tracks on here. On the A side we got Intercranial, the Robo Sapien and the Antimatter version, and on the flip side we got the Lost Transmission of the Ill Saint, the Ultrasonic and Antibody version. And the reason why I talk about this is not only because this is a great record that was released in '96 as the very first release of the now well-known drum and bass label Position Chrome, which was associated with the Force Inc. Mid Plateau stable, like a sub-sister label of all this, the Frankfurt-based like techno-electronic staple. But this label has an interesting history and also like a great company sleeve for sure. And the basic thing is, this is Chrome, or Position Chrome 001, the very first release on the label, released in '96 by Techno Animal, an ambient release. Techno Animal is a group, or was a group, that was formed by Justin K. Broderick and Kevin Martin, which is known to many of you as The Bug, is also involved in Razor X Productions and in Ice, and like is like a legend in bass music, electronic dub, ambient and stuff. And well, therefore all those tracks are like ambient tracks, but my favorite is the Lost Transmission of the Ill Saint, the Antibody SB2. And if you're not familiar with ambient, this is a music that was invented in Brooklyn, kind of, by the guys of DJs around DJ Spooky. Like slow, creepy, hip-hop, dub-orientated beats, a lot of like music concrete, noise, collage things, heavy bass lines, and very slow, very creepy, and is like, if you want to describe this, is a anti-ambient music because, well, ambient is usually like soothing and relaxing, beautiful, like easy kind of, and well, if you listen to ambient the whole time or at a party, it's like very demanding and can be stressing out. And if you like noise music and industrial music, you are like very likely to like ambient more than ambient. But the history is behind the label. It was formed in '96, as I said, and ran like for the first 17 or 18 releases as Chrome Records, and then supposedly had to change names because there was another label in Germany, also from the southern part of Germany, that was named Chrome, which was more like goth industrial, and I think Ernst Horn of Daniel Lakaien released his solo stuff there on this label, and well, the name was like too similar, and therefore they were forced to change the name to Position Chrome, like of course like influenced by cassette tapes and stuff. And then they had a change in A&R, and Mathis Moritz, also known as the Panacea, like a famous drum and bass producer, the most famous drum and bass producer from Germany, took over A&R, and then the label steered into a like fully fledged drum and bass direction. But in the beginning, the very first releases, the first 5 I guess, came in this specific company sleeve, and they were all non-drum and bass releases apart from one. So there was like 2 Techno Animal releases. There was Kerosene, I guess, which is drum and bass, not drum and bass, it was like fast experimental electro. Then was a Low Frequency Band, which was like, I guess, Alec Empire's Jungle Project, and one more that's escaping me right now, but there were like There was not like classical drum and bass releases, and in the first years they also had the occasional like ambient, halftime, weird, experimental industrial trip hop release in there, but then they like switched and there was like only drum and bass, and there was like releases by Current Value mainly on this label. Then there was Panacea, which was the main act, of course. Then Panacea cooperated or collaborated with several acts, like with DJ UFO from San Francisco as the Redeemer. Then there was Problem Child, which was also one guy from the Panacea like circles and stuff, and a lot of guys more, which is escaping me right now, and also like a few like Panacea sub aliases. And yeah, I own quite a few of those records, like from the first years. I guess I own like this kind of a pile, which is like, I guess 30 or 40. It used to be my favorite label, but the interesting part for me and the most interesting music actually in hindsight is definitely the first releases, and definitely this Techno Animal release. And I've seen Techno Animal playing at the Molotov Club in Hamburg, at the old Molotov Club, which was then run by a woman that was called Gegen back in the day, and they were playing with Dialect and I guess solo as well. And Kev Martin I've seen also like with 1617 Sound System, which was also a project, more breakcore kind of meets jazz kind of project, which was, as far as I know, signed to Alec Empire's label, Digital Hardcore Recordings. And Gesine, the Molotov head, was like a big fan of like ambient and dub, and I guess she had like a little acquaintance with Spectre from Word Sound back in the days, but I don't know exactly how this turns out. There was rumors, but I know that the Word Sound guys played in that location a lot of times, and I've been there like quite a few times. But some experiences that were like vital and essential for me was actually seeing Techno Animal playing live. And yeah, this one highly recommended, sought after, I guess, now. And if you like discovered Kev Martin's music through the bug only in recent years, this is definitely one record to check. And if you like the dark, industrial, noisy variation of trip hop and downtempo, this is also one to check out for sure. So yeah, this was like a record I wanted to talk about, and I think it's very interesting that a label like started out an experimental imprint and then fully switched into a drum and bass label, and then the label was like defunct in 2004 because the EFA distribution went bankrupt in Germany, and they had like a P&D deal, like press and distribution deal with Position Chrome. And then it was refueled or refounded, or I don't know if Panacea, Matters Modes bought all the rights to the catalog. But in 2005, Position Chrome came back, but never like came back to its full height, I guess. Then the music changed kind of, still drum and bass, but more like the crossbreed, Gabba drum and bass mixture stuff, and not very many vinyl releases came after like 2005. So the heydays of the label were definitely gone, and now I guess the label has vanished into obscurity, which is a pity because they did a lot of great work in the formative years, and like in the era from 96 to I guess 2002, 2003. This was the main catalog was like proper good stuff, and definitely like still essential, although sound wise not that up to par to today's productions, but still like very an essential part of what drum and bass became. And also like talking drum and bass, Cativo also was like a big part of the label, like as a producer and stuff. This is a guy who is located in Würzburg actually, which is a German city, and he was like the main force of the active drum and bass scene in Würzburg. But yeah, very short, very brief, very all over the place history of the label. Once again, artwork is beautiful. I still dig this, and I also still dig these stickers because this remind me how cheap or like expensive records were back in the day, and now prices have gone up. And Another thing I want to talk about briefly is I had this radio show planned last Thursday at FSK Hamburg. I was invited to do a show or like a guest set at Knospt, which is a radio show run by a guy I know and who buys like records in the store. And yeah, 14 years prior to that, I had left FSK Radio, where the show was about to be like broadcasted, and I had like a regular show there from I guess 99 or 98 to 2005, 14 years, 2005. And I left the station for like political reasons and also for like technical reasons, because whatever happened there, like the turntables and all the studio was run down and nobody was like able to replace things, and a lot of reasons. And then I was supposed to play a show like to the day 14 years after I quit the station and left the station, and actually what happened is exactly the same. So the broadcast didn't take place because there were like technical problems. I played for 2 hours in the club environment or in the basement of the building, because the guy, Knospt guy, likes to run his show like live from like a big PA and stuff, and have people drop by if they want to and stuff. And but this didn't work out. I played like 2 hours of dubstep and grime, and but there was no transmission. There are a few like mobile phone, smartphone videos existing. I hope I get them, like, and I can maybe upload 1 or 2 snippets from my set here to YouTube. But it is a sad thing that like more than a decade has passed and still the station is in a desolate state. And I decided to not come back again for a guest show, even though people like still like hold me up on the street and like to talk about my old radio show, which is like 14 years ago. So so this radio show had an impact, and which is great, but still the station is in a state of decay, and there's just no way and like there's no point in coming back for a guest set for me anyway. So this is just a little like rambling update as well. So if you like this one, click the notification bell, subscribe, leave me a comment and stuff, and I'm gonna go into editing, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. See you later.